Lecture 1-1, Performance, Control System Performance specifically. Control system performance is measured in the following ways. First, stability. A control system must be designed such that the plant's output response is stable. Its free response must not diverge from equilibrium. So that's just basic, right? You almost never want to create a control system in which the system is unstable. And let me tell you that including feedback in your system actually increases the likelihood that you're going to have an unstable system result. So feedback is very powerful, and therefore it's also pretty dangerous as well in terms of changing the dynamics of your system such that you're unstable. So stability becomes very important in control systems, and so stability is sort of the first criterion for the performance of a control system. The second is transient response. So the transient response of the plant's output is often important for a control system. A designer may have identified such requirements as the velocity free response must be 0 plus or minus 1 meters per second in 5 seconds and thereafter. Or the pressure step response must not overshoot its final value. These sorts of requirements are common. As with many design requirements, some iteration is usually needed in order to meet all requirements. So transient response is another issue. We want to, maybe move something from this location to that location. And you can do that in, 2 seconds or 2,000 seconds. You could do that in a way that overshoots the position that you are going to and oscillates about it. You can do it in ways such that you could have a dangerous situation emerge if you're not careful. So that's why our requirements will include some transient response characteristics, and that's another important aspect of controller design is the transient response. And then the third consideration is steady state response. Steady state response of the plant's output is another important consideration for a control system. After the transient response has decayed, the steady state response must meet certain criteria, such as the position steady state response to a unit ramp function must be within 5 millimeters of the desired position. Okay, so the idea is that in this case, maybe we have a system with a time response and a position response. And first we'll put in, this is what our command looks like, which is that we want the position to be like that. Okay, this is maybe our command. And we would like the actual response to, within a certain amount of time, to be within a certain distance from the desired position. So maybe this response looks like this, and it oscillates, and within a certain amount of time, we want to be within 5 millimeters of the desired position. So maybe it settles down to lag behind a little bit, the commanded position. We want the distance between those to be, so steady state must be within 5 millimeters of the desired position. We want that steady state error, which is this distance here, to be 5 millimeters in this example. And actually less than 5 millimeters, I think is what it said. Within 5 millimeters. Okay. So, where I forgot to label that this is the actual response. So we have transient response requirements, so what's going on here, and then in steady state we also have different requirements for performance. And there are, of course, other considerations for performance of a control system. Cost, weight, complexity, and other factors must be considered. One of the most important of these is robustness. The control system's ability to perform as desired when system parameters change from their nominal values. So if your control system works great for a system that has a certain, say, damping coefficient, but then maybe there's some wear and tear on the parts, and then the damping coefficient changes a little bit, and your control system, if it stopped working well at that point, it would not be very robust. If it was able to still work well when those parameters changed slightly, which they frequently do in most real systems, then it would be considered robust. So this is important because the parameters of any implementation of a control system will differ from their nominal values, at least slightly. Okay? So that is control system performance, sort of an overview of control system performance.